There's a 1 in 8 chance that a woman will develop breast cancer in her lifetime. And for Black women, we're more than likely to be diagnosed before the age of 50. Head to BaptistHealth.net right now to schedule your mammogram and be on the proactive side of care. Mammograms save lives.
Last time you had a prostate screening?
I haven't done.
What about colonoscopy?
I've been thinking about it. I know I have to do it.
Come on, man. You know, we can't wait till something happens. We can't wait for nobody to do it for us. We got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
You know? So we got to make it a priority, man.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Full checkup once a year. And make sure you ask the doctors to get a PSA. And important, make sure you get that colonoscopy. You're 50 now, man. You got to get that done. Okay?
This was awesome. Thank you for tuning in.
All aware by now that unfortunate, whatever that is just horrific. I was made aware yesterday. Immediately we jumped into action. We did the report. We took photos. We had our special investigation section investigate immediately. We're pulling all footage, so we take that extremely seriously, and we're gonna make sure we leave no stone unturned. And I'll keep you guys updated, but we're working very diligently to figure out who did that.
So there are cameras in the area?
In the immediate area, we're looking into everything. Okay.
Commander, I noticed that you all listed it as a hate crime. It is listed as a hate crime.
Yes, we're treating it as such.
As such.
Yeah. So I'll make sure, after this is done, I'll make sure, you guys have my contact information, and we'll keep you updated, and that's about it. I'll answer more questions.
Thank you,
Commander.
A question, when residents, because I was told that a resident saw this, when they see things like this, what should they do? What is the protocol so that something like this could be addressed immediately? I'm not sure what the process was, but just so the community is aware of how they could take action and using police, involvement.
Just what Lucretia did, that was an excellent response. We have that one-on-one relationship. She was able to send it to me, so that's why I'm going to make sure each of you have my contact information or the neighborhood resource officers. So you can send us tips and leads. Also, we have a number. There's Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers, or you could call 911 if everything else fails. But we're here. We take everything seriously. We investigate everything, especially something like this. So that's how you will get in contact with us.
With school just coming to an end, what tactics or strategies are you all taking to remain safety in the community, especially with this alarming action?
Yeah, we do have a summer operation plan. We're going to increase police patrols. We're going to make sure we also partner with some of our specialized units to bring more presence, more enforcement in the key hot spots in Overtown. Mm-hmm. And also it's what we're doing now, making sure we have that one-on-one relationship with our community, because like I said, we cannot do this alone. I need each and every one of you to communicate with me, and I know for myself and my team, we hop on anything. We don't just we take everything extremely seriously. Yeah.
Can you just share a little bit about the stats of either crime or violence currently at the state in Overtown? I know we have had some decreases, but just share a little bit about kind of how the crime statistics in the community.
So I would say overall Overtown, the crime is at historic lows. The only issue that we're having will be retail thefts, because we had a new shopping center, but that's not really unusual. We see that in every area, retail theft. But as far as homicides and violent crime and thefts to motor vehicle is significantly lower than it's ever been in past years.
And what
Yes.
about hate crimes? Have we seen any of these types of things in other areas of the community?
Not like this. I haven't seen anything like this recently in our community.
I would like to say every incident is an emergency. Dial 911. Every incident is an emergency. 911, it all is an emergency.
Kind of to piggyback on that, thank you, Ms. Stewart. If we run into issues with 911, because there have been a number of community members who have reached out to 911 about a variety of issues, namely like the drag racing and just other things. The response from 911, I would say sometimes is marginal at best. And if we run into things like that, what is your recommendation for community?
So make sure you log the date and time that you called. And if they're not picking up or they're not responding, make sure you call back. And if you don't get any positive results, ask for a supervisor, escalate it. And because you have a record of when you called, you could after you call the supervisor that day, you could also follow up with me. And then I'll speak to their major. They have a major in charge of the communication section. And we'll follow up. Everything is recorded, everything is logged, and we'll figure out exactly what happened and why they failed to have that positive response.
I got a question over here about like preserving history and historic sites. So that's obviously a historic and cultural site. I think about Overtown and all the different other historic sites that might be, possibly it might be a copycat.
Yeah.
Have y'all thought about a tactical way that y'all could have policing in those specific areas? I'm thinking about the right here on First Place. I'm thinking about the Nina Simone mural. I'm thinking about the Aretha Franklin mural on 20th Street. I'm thinking about all these different historic murals that are probably gonna be copycatted or maybe under attack. Have y'all thought about ways to protect those historic sites and artifacts?
So immediately when we heard about this incident, I alerted the whole Overtown team as well as the chain of command, even the chief. We're all aware of this. So we are gonna have increased patrols. They're gonna be watch orders. The officers are gonna periodically conduct checks, make sure everything is good and undamaged. And again, all of you, if you see anything, make sure you contact us immediately.
And then I just wanted to just follow up with that question, and then I'm done. So like when that happens, where can we like check in? Is it gonna be a quarterly report, weekly report, monthly report? And then where can we go get that information just to make sure that it stays? Because sometimes people are excited and then emotions are high, and then like a month later, if no one's asking questions, then we don't know what progress is being made. Where can we find that information? How often will that be reported out to us? And then like how do we get it out to the public and the community?
So if we have any, hopefully we don't have any further incidents. If we do, we'll make sure that I'll let the public information officer know. Pretty much we're all gonna know if it happens again. And we'll keep you updated on the investigation.
And he, Commander Cooper also has had meetings at the precinct and other locations here in Overtown to report on what's happening in Overtown. So be on the alert that we will get that information out, especially to our community as soon as we get the next date. We'll try to set up a date with you today to have you come to the Black Police Precinct to have a community meeting in regards to this and what else is happening in Overtown, so the community can be aware and informed and in community when we have these meetings.
And Lucretia, we want to make sure that we have the executive director of the Omni CRA, who's also representing Commissioner Pardo, and she has committed to expand resources to help protect the community of Overtown that she oversees, and also will be elevating some of the services in community that she will share.
Thank you, Trina.
So what happened at the site is very disturbing. It's very unconscionable, and it's not tolerated anywhere in the city of Miami. So that's first. Secondly, at the Omni CRA, we do have this portion of Overtown, and we're very passionate about all of our efforts that we're trying to make for historic sites. The very building that we're standing in right here, the Dorsey Library, was rehabilitated by the Omni CRA. Now, we have dollars available to do enhanced policing. We're working hand in hand with the City of Miami Police to do enhanced policing in this community, right? Our board just passed these initiatives just a few weeks ago to do enhanced policing and security. So enhanced services, we also have enhanced cameras and more cameras that we can add for any blind spots that are in the area. We also have a program, so each homeowner that is in the area, you will have dollars available to reimburse for cameras, security cameras that you may need. We also have monies to help you repair your homes. So I want you to look into these specific programs that we have that can enhance your safety, your security in your neighborhoods, but at the same time for the city as a whole, and as for this area that we do have authority over. And I wanted to say on behalf of our chairman, Commissioner Pardo, he is very, very sensitive to all of these issues. He's on top of it. He made calls to the chief. He has made calls with Parks Department. He said, Isia, we had a meeting today, and he said, you're not coming to this meeting. You need to go to this one. So I wanted to make sure to express that on behalf of the CRA, on behalf of our chair. We spoke to the district commissioner, Commissioner King also, and she said, Isia, thank you. But one of the things that we must do, we need to solidify our history that we have in this community. And also, we need to make sure that we are able to redo these murals better than before and solidify our history in this neighborhood. And I don't know, but if there's it's a little bold to me, and this is an area where, I mean, with the policing that we have, you do not want to do crime in this neighborhood. So, I mean, maybe they haven't heard, but they should hear. This is a neighborhood where you do not want to commit any crimes. And it will not be tolerated. None of this will be tolerated. And any support that our residents do need, we are here. And through all of this that is happening that is very negative, we are here together. We're unified. And we now know about all the resources that we can have and how much we can come together and expedite what we have on all the good initiatives to do.
I would ask, and thank you, that's great information. It may be helpful to have a printed plan of some of the proactive measures that are going in place, and have that communicated to all the stakeholders in the community. And also from ask the commander, are there any procedures or measures that you found effective in other communities to mitigate any issues, any similar crimes that you think we can do in this neighborhood here? Anything you've done other communities, other neighborhoods, because this happened in other places. We want to see if we can use some of those formulas that you use there to mitigate those here.
So we know footage is very surveillance cameras, very effective. We pretty much have about 85% of Overtown covered, and we're working with the Omni CRA to provide additional footage or cameras in the area. So that's very helpful. Also lighting, we're gonna do a security survey, and we're gonna see if there's any additional security enhancements that we could do in the area just to mitigate that and prevent future acts like that. And plus, I wanna meet, if possible, if we can meet here in a week, just to kinda update you all on our status and share any additional information that you may have received in the community. And we just brainstorm and come up with plans together. Because I can't say it enough. I've said it a million times. This is what we need to keep this community safe.
Commander, can you, I'm gonna give you a quick plug. Can you also maybe talk about our new access as far as how you can send text messages now to the City of Miami Police Department in order to report issues, like instead of just calling 911, and then also maybe like the Citizens on Patrol programs that we have in our other neighborhoods.
Yeah,
that allows our community members to actively work with MPD in order to tackle issues that we have.
Yeah. So there is we have a community relations section, and they have the Citizens on Patrol program, and they also have the Citizens Police Academy. So that's a way to get more involved, to learn more about the police department, and to get involved, and it's very helpful. I know Mrs. Stewart, she was a member.
I
am.
You better get in trouble.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And I know you did the Citizens Police Academy.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm very
Sorry.
involved, so
Sorry about
please know that.
Ms. Stewart is very involved, so she'll let you know it's great. You get that firsthand experience of what we do on a day-to-day basis, and it's just good. It's overall win-win for the community.
What is that number? Can you say that number?
The community relations section.
The number that he said you could text.
Yeah, for my, well, I don't want to take y'all info, but for my police department now, we actually finally deactivated where you can submit text messages to us in order to report crimes and different issues. That's been something we've been advocating for like maybe the last 4 or 5 years, even when I graduated from the police academy, well, the Citizens Police Academy. Yeah. So finally, that's another way for us to kind of proactively tackle some of this stuff. Because as you know, in our neighborhoods, a lot of things may go unreported, and then sometimes people feel by calling on the phone, they can get tracked back to them, things like that. So now you can actually do text messaging. So I think Commander. Yeah.
I'm
so
gonna
jump in. 1 second, I'm just gonna say this real quick. So I'm gonna read it, but you could also go on our social media site and get the instructions as well. So you enter 911 into the text field, type a message with the location of the emergency and nature of emergency. For example, what is happening and whether you need police, fire, or medical, press send. And our non-emergency line will still work, 305-579-6111. So if you need these instructions, again, you could go on our social media website.
And just to elaborate on one thing, he said Ms. Stewart, she's our one COP that we have. So these meetings that we have, we go out in the community, we pass out flyers, and we ask for people to join. And a lot of times we don't get a good response to that. So just for the people that's here now, I know we have an incident and we're really concerned, and we got a lot of people here. And if we can get 3 or 4 people out of this whole crowd to join, that will help. Cause she's our only one, and she's active. We have a printout right now of some issues that she got going on that we're gonna discuss.
I'm still raising my hand. So someone mentioned historic preservation of the community. The Dorsey Park is not a historic location yet. So on May 1st, as a part of the Overtown Business Association in Main Street America, I did a walkthrough with the Department of State to go through our community to identify all of the historic pieces, because there's a brick wall in our neighborhood that's also historic, to identify that. So one of the things that we have to do is make sure that we designate historic designation by following through with the state of Florida to complete that application. And what that requires is all the stories, all the documentation, all the obituaries, birth certificates, and anything from World War I, World War II, because the index requires multiple pieces of data to solidify why it is historic. Part of the problem also was they do it by who owned the property. A lot of our history goes with us because we pay rent or lease. So we have to make sure to understand why property ownership is important. Because when they're telling history through historic preservation, they look at who owned the property. So that's part of the problem that we're having in the Historic Overtown neighborhood, is because right now we don't own most of the property. So we have to be clear about when we're telling our story and what we do. And that's why it's imperative to go to these meetings. And as a part of the Overtown Business Association, I will be contacting you, because it's in my work plan to collect that data. There's lots of opportunities to be able to collectively work together continuously. But we can't forget, it's not just the residents. It's also, we're creating a destination. And I know that this is some people's homes and this is their neighborhood. But as we are building for the future, we need to be confident and comfortable, understand that we want people to come through our neighborhoods, but respect us. So we have to invest in identifying historic landmarks and telling our stories and making sure the neighborhood is walkable, making sure it's well lit. And if you own a business, connect with other business owners. We also have to make sure that we're in communication, This was amazing today because this was community-led. This was not initiated by an elected official. This was initiated by concerned citizens and residents of Overtown. So we are committed because we see, and we're not trying to be reactionary, but we're going to utilize this event to make sure that we stay committed, to follow through, to make sure there's more than 3 people, to make sure that I communicate better with other people. There's also lots of work being done behind the scenes that we don't always know about. So collectively, we have to figure out a way to communicate the behind the scenes work, because what happened yesterday was amazing. Within 24 hours, we have a resolution for getting the mural done and expanding services, but also making sure a prevention plan is together as well.
And moving forward. And it's one of those things where we want to highlight. So as a board member of the Overtown Children Youth Coalition, I want to highlight that it was a 7-year-old child that saw this mural. And to stand in unison with Urgent Inc., Touching Mind with Love, Overtown Optimist Club, Girl Power, Overtown Youth Center, Florida Film House, First Tate Program, and other youth-serving organizations here in the community, we stand in unison together when an issue affects not only our babies in our program, but our community as a whole. We're raising up young people to experience and enjoy fun, love, and eliminate hate. So what we saw yesterday was an act of hate. Hate will not win in our community. So together in this room, we're excited that we have not only our local officials, we have a representative from Ashley Gantt's office that is present as well. So immediately when things happen in our community, we're not standing on the sidelines anymore. We're showing up, we're acting, and we're creating resolutions.
And as the executive director of the Overtown Children and Youth Coalition, we think it's really important that we do come together and have these kind of conversations. We have developed committees to address these type of concerns. We have a healthy and safe committee that is specifically on what our commander was talking about, on how do we address those safety concerns in our community, where we can then put resources towards and helping those things happen. The coalition has been around for 12 years now, and that is exactly why we were created, to be able to be a backbone for the community of Overtown, to be able to bring all of our resources together to make sure that our young people have the resources they need to reach their full potential. And this year demonstrates that we have the potential, we have what it takes in order to make that happen. So me as the ED of that organization, applaud you all for bringing this together. So thank you, Lucretia and Terrence and the rest of the team for the work that you've done in less than 24 hours and making sure we got out and got the word out on how we are going to take care of our community. And I thank my board members for allowing me to be able to do this work and be able to step out, although it may not be what we initially were designed to do, but realizing the importance and the value of this and making sure that we put these resources to work. So thank you all for this, and we're looking forward to continue to have more of these conversations, but not get to conversations, but solutions. We talk all the time, but solutions to how do we address, how do we correct these problems that are maybe taking place in our communities.
Officer Cooper, I have one last question, just for clarity. So are there any surveillance cameras in the area that are positioned on the wall that you're using? If you answer this before, sorry,
So we do have cameras in the area, the exact location where we're not going to disclose it at the time, but we do have surveillance cameras.
So, go ahead, Nicole.
So a couple of questions, and I'm so grateful because over the years, the policing has shifted significantly to become a lot more community-centered and community-focused. We're so grateful for our police officers that we have who walk the community with us, who know our children. There's like a real person-to-person relationship. It's built on relationships. And so having said that, a couple of things. When I'm thinking about the summer plan and the increased policing, wanting to make sure that we ensure that there's a high level of cultural humility that exists with those who are coming into the community to police alongside community. And so wanting to be able to work collectively in relationship collaboratively to create a transformative space that honors what has taken so many years to get to. And so just wanting first to express my gratitude, right? Because it's real. And then above all else, ensuring that we don't take any steps backward, that we move forward from a space of healing and loving and commitment.
So
That's one piece.
definitely relationships when it comes to policing today, in today's environment, relationship, trust is number one. Without those two things, nothing can't get accomplished. And that's what we stress. So that's very important, especially to my Overtown support team. Number one, they're out there every day. I'm out there every day speaking to people, dialoguing, because that's how you open that platform to start that relationship and build that connection. And unfortunately, there are times where there are bad interactions, and and if the chance, I like to think they're slim, but that slim chance that you do have a bad interaction, we do have an internal affairs section. Nowadays, there's body-worn camera, so practically 98% of our officers have body-worn camera, and the entire interaction is recorded. So we do have an internal affairs. If you feel like that officer was unprofessional, insensitive, or any other complaint, and you just want to speak to someone about it, we have our internal affairs section. We have the supervisors you could call, a sergeant, a lieutenant, and I will assure you that every complaint is thoroughly investigated, and if that officer is found to have committed any violation, they're always, well, what I've seen, they're always held accountable. So.
Thank you. And the last thing, before just honoring Jaden Floyd, who is a 7-year-old young man who was an honor student who had to come and witness that and see what was happening and really needed to get it explained by his mom, Kiki. And knowing their history and how his grandmother was actually the first Black female police officer from Overtown on the force. So the irony of all of it is significant. And so when we think about community policing, relationship, the village, which is something that we have here, loving Ms. Stewart and the program, and wondering if there's a way to offer it during times that are not typically during the day when people are working. Like if we can have it on the weekends, and if we can just work around community schedules, because I know that there are several community members that would love to do it and just can't.
Yeah.
So just wanting to be able to
We're
figure that out.
flexible.
All right.
We don't just work Monday through Friday.
Amen.
Do you all know exactly when the incident happened, like, or approximately, or estimate?
Well, it's very preliminary, but at this time we're thinking Sunday that it happened, probably during the nighttime hours.
So again, thank you all. We have, thank you, Commander Cooper. He was not expecting to come in and talk to people. But in this moment, we know how significant it is that we act. We are grateful for the Omni CRA. We're grateful for Southwest Park CRA that said they are willing to step up and help out. Both Commissioners Pardo and King has said they will step up and help from their offices. So we are very grateful that the community, the government, all is acting in this moment. My parents used to say, Lucretia, you ain't gonna never have to worry about that. And though they have passed on, when this happened yesterday, my thought was, they said I would never have to face this. And that is what lives in me today. I don't want another kid to have to see this. And I know this is where we are in community, but we are here because we care. As a resident, I care. I live in Overtown. We are not taking this lightly at all, because I don't want to see that. I don't want to experience hate, and we don't want to experience division. This is one thing that will not divide us. We know that Overtown as well as the Jewish community around us, has always been together and supporting one another throughout the creation of this city. So we know how detrimental, if it happens on a synagogue, if it happens on a mural, we feel the pain just as much. So just understand that in the next week, we will have this meeting. We will be sending out notifications. And yes, this was community-led today, thanking all the organizations from Overtown stepping up and showing up. Our hearts go out to Urgent Inc. and Celia, who's here, because they help orchestrate and get this mural done with grant funds. We all know that this economy and the way the government is running, we don't know where these funds will come from all the time. So we have to take precious care of the things that we do. We are working very hard in these organizations. Urgent Inc., TML, Overtown Youth Center, Overtown Optimist Club, the guiding backbone of Overtown Children's and Youth Coalition, as well as the Black Police Precinct. We are here. We are here to serve you, serve the community, and make sure you stay informed. At the Black Police Precinct, shameless plug, knowing the law, where awareness plus education equals smarter choice. We discuss how we work, live, and play here in South Florida, as well as the state of Florida, and we are not backing down from our messages and what we put to community, because we want to live in a safe and healthy community. That's the end of the story for me. As long as our people are healthy, safe, and we can explore, play, and work, we're gonna be happy and moving upwards and onwards from this. But just know, we're not standing for this. Amen. Thank y'all for
I look forward to meeting with everyone. So stay tuned for the notification. Perfect. You have everyone's email?
Hi, I'm Celia Nelson, CEO of Urgent Inc., and we are a creative youth development nonprofit based here in Historic Overtown. And 12 years ago, we led the effort to revitalize Dorsey Park's walls with murals celebrating the history of the Negro League Baseball in the Overtown community. And so when we found out about the defacement of the murals that haven't been touched in over 12 years, which is a remarkable opportunity, because when we facilitated the murals, it was a community-wide effort. Kids, interns, organizations galvanized over a series of 3 years to help create those murals. And so it was really a sense of community pride and ownership that up until Sunday, the respect and love for the walls and the history was there. And so for us, this is an opportunity to re-galvanize and celebrate the history of the park and what art can do to bring people together. And so as part of our gifts in this resurgence of community pride, we are going to be helping to facilitate artist involvement to not only refresh the walls, but also help young artists be involved as well. And so this is just another opportunity for us to convene and celebrate and contribute the gifts of the community, and using art as a catalyst to do that.
You mentioned grant funding that you got to do these murals 12 years ago. What will be that strategy now to get that funded? Is there a way for people to donate in the community? Just give us some information on that, to the funding and the support that you guys will need to get the murals painted.
Yeah, well, definitely. We will need to raise resources to do this right. And so we do have a couple of grants on the pipeline that we're gonna put in, but also there'll be an opportunity for people to donate, but we're not gonna ask for money right now. What we want is for people to say, hey, we want to get involved, we want to contribute our gifts to help revitalize these walls. And we believe the grant funding and other investment are going to come thanks to you helping to elevate this story. Folks can reach out to LaCrissa at the Black Precinct. We're all partners together. they can reach out to me at Urgent Inc. and we're going to make this happen.
Is there anything else you want to add about this incident or just Urgent Inc. While we have you?
I think what I would love to elevate is that community has really come together, and the sense of ownership and pride that this really elevated is important. And Overtown is a close-knit community, and we like each other over here. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone that helps elevate this issue and is contributing to get this taken care of and just make it even better.